on ESPN by Orbitz continues from Dayton, University of Dayton Arena. The Oklahoma Sooners, the 3 seed in the Dayton Regional, taking on the 7 seed Ole Miss. Oklahoma's won 10 straight games, including a victory in round 2. Also Ole Miss in its first Sweet 16 since 1992 after throttling Maryland. The winner gets Tennessee on Tuesday. Inside the Ole Miss locker room, a pregame Lady Rebel ritual. Few of the players in that group call themselves the Anointed Voices. They go out and do some community singing. They're hoping their play is anointed today against Oklahoma.
Well, that would mean that they're getting it done on the defensive end, disrupting and trying to disturb the offensive rhythm of Oklahoma. Oklahoma, one of the most efficient offensive teams in the country. They've got the big Paris on the inside and terrific shooters surrounding her.
60 straight double-doubles for Courtney Parrish. She's featured in our Star Watch and one of the most underrated players in the game. Ole Miss's Arminty Price.
Well, Arminty Price leads her team in scoring, rebounds, steals nationally, and assists. And Courtney Parrish, one of the most dominant feared players block to block. She has seen-like numbers in a sophomore campaign.
And the starting lineups for these two squads this afternoon here in Dayton for Ole Miss. The backcourt of Price, Easley, and Awkward. Nothing awkward about Ashley's game in the tournament. Had 22 against Maryland in the second round. Forrest and Mincy in the front court for the Lady Rebels. Oklahoma coming off a win over Marquette. Features Thompson, Rush, and Paris in the front court. And in the backcourt, Higgins and freshman Jenna Plumley. Oklahoma has not lost since Plumley has become the starting point guard. Oklahoma in white, navy for Ole Miss. We are set for hoops. We saw one of the best players in the game in Candace Parker in our first regional semifinal. We get another in Courtney Parrish. Third in the nation in scoring, second in rebounding, fourth in blocks.
It's a matchup zone. You don't know where the traps are coming. Plumley turns it over the first possession.
Ole Miss with a ton of speed. We'll get a look at the Lady Rebels' speed on offense early. Here's Awkward being guarded by Plumley. Trying to get it into the hands of Price, who's averaging 25 points per game in the tournament and hits her first shot here today. She's shooting 70% in the NCAA championship.
It is all about speed. It's about pressure. It's about aggressiveness, and you have to be able to see over the top. Plumley trying to make that play before the trap comes.
Sherry Cole's 11th season at the helm of the Sooners. They've lost only 4 games all year, 2 of those against Texas A&M, a team that Ole Miss reminds you of. Almost another steal by Mincy. Carol Ross in her 4th year, 3rd trip to the NCAA tournament. Went to the Elite 8 with Florida back in 1997. Ole Miss hasn't been to the Elite 8 since 1992 when Van Chancellor was the head coach.
It's tips, it's steals, it's deflections. Courtney Parrish will need to be a pressure reliever against this matchup zone.
Shot clock at 10, and Paris with her first touch. Tough to score from there, and got it stripped by Awkward. How about the quick hands all over the place are the Lady Rebels in the first minute.
It's quickness on the defensive end, that's for sure. It's all about speed and pace.
And Easley, a 31% shooter, but 44% in the NCAA tournament makes it 5-zip Ole Miss.
Well, Carol Lawson mentioned it in the studio. Ashley Awkward has to be able to knock down shots on the perimeter. You want to make Oklahoma extend. You want to open up the driving lanes. Ole Miss is one of the best teams off the dribble at getting inside the paint and scoring in the country. That's what they do. They're very good at it. It's not very fancy, but it's very effective.
Oklahoma's turned it over 3 times already, including the last time down the floor. On the alternate possession, Ole Miss getting the basketball. Forced into the lane. Harris might have gotten a piece of that. And an Oklahoma foul. And It's going to be the first foul called in the game. It's going to go on Amanda Thompson.
Yeah, Courtney Paris is one of the top shot blockers in the country, but you have to challenge her on the defensive end. You got to make her move her feet. And the quickness of the front line for Ole Miss could have a bearing on Paris's ability to stay out of foul trouble.
Good pass inside Forrest, but she took an extra step. First turnover by Ole Miss. Tennessee has already advanced to the Elite Eight here in Dayton. Will it be an all-SEC regional final, or will it be the Big 12 against the SEC on Tuesday night? Rush going baseline, had it deflected. Again, hands in the passing lane for Ole Miss. Easley has it knocked away by Thompson, but it ends up in the midst of awkward. Easley short with it, and Higgins gets to the loose ball.
Ole Miss will play this frenetic pace. They will try to make Oklahoma play faster on the offensive end than they want to.
Well, Deb, it's rare that we have a weather report during a basketball game, but that's what we've got with Heather Cox.
Indeed, I feel like I'm at a football game, but weather's certainly an issue inside. There's no air conditioning here at the Dayton Arena. I've been taking the temperature throughout the day, and it's about 90 degrees right now inside. It was definitely an issue with Tennessee in the first game, and something that both coaches noticed immediately upon entering practice yesterday. So both trainers talked to their teams. Oklahoma's been pushing electrolytes, especially to players who tend to sweat a lot. And the Ole Miss training staff started pushing fluids last night, and they've also advised an increase in salt, adding bagels and potato chips to the training table. So both teams are well aware of the hot heat we've been dealing with all day.
It's so hot in here, we might actually see Armini Price sweat. She's a player that works so hard, you think she's got to change her jersey at halftime.
A lot of these players used to heat, especially this time of year as the humidity starts to pick up in Oklahoma and Mississippi as Courtney Paris gets her first basket.
Let's see if Oklahoma can make Ole Miss take it out of the net. They can get back and set up their zone. Force Ole Miss to the perimeter. Make them make shots on the outside. That's why Ashley Awkward will be critical in her ability to shoot the three.
Courtney Paris got another piece of that as Sean Goff, scorer off the bench, comes into the game for Forrest, who's not as much of an offensive threat.
Arminty Price might be one of the best players that nobody's heard about, Dave. She's got the ball right there. She is all about speed and quickness, rebounding, getting steals and deflections. And she plays on the weak side of the matchup zone. What that means is that most teams come up the right side of the floor with a right-handed point guard. She will be on the opposite side where she is so good at anticipating, reading the defense, and that's why she gets all those steals and leads the nation in that category.
3-second violation on Ole Miss. Plumley back down the floor for OU. No. Goff with a rebound. Awkward attacking Plumley. Tough shot. And Plumley with a rebound. Plumley doubling her scoring average in the postseason from the regular year as Ole Miss commits its first team foul.
Now that would be one player that Ole Miss can ill afford to get into foul trouble, but Arminty Price has, over her career, has gotten better at staying on the floor. Only one disqualification this season.
She's the 5th player ever in college basketball with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 300 assists, 300 steals, and listen to the company she's in. Miller, Holtzclaw, Catchings, Sophia Young. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's 4 of the best that have ever played the game.
4 points now for Paris, and Oklahoma has its first lead. Mississippi scored the first 5. Sooners have scored the last 6. 4 minutes gone by. Shot from the corner won't fall for Black. Price rebound, put back, no. And then a strip ends up in Plumley's hands.
You see the athleticism of Price right there twice, trying to offensive rebound at 5'9". She can rebound in and out of her area with her athleticism.
Down to Paris again. Great block by Goff. That didn't happen very often.
Well, length has bothered Courtney Paris. Certainly not somebody that can match her physicalness.
Travel is the call. 1 point Oklahoma lead. Arminty Price, one of the best players in the SEC, trying to give the Rebels a win.
Opening night, Mets Cardinals, Sunday, April 1st at 8 on ESPN2.
So, John and I are thinking of going to Cancun, if we can find a good deal.
It's funny.
So are Dan and I.
It's time to play Take On Orbits. Today's players want a total vacation, hotel plus flight, and must save over $300. Go.
I need a deal to Cancun.
Oh, that's outrageous. Done. Congratulations. Thanks.
It's that easy. Next time, Orbits and go.
Hey, head to the side, seat back low. When you see me run away, I'm in my Chevy ride slow. I'm in my Chevy ride slow.
Nice ride, homie. I'll trade you.
Chevy Impala SS, an American revolution.
You know, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but my mobile broadband network is powerful.
Told you that.
Television.
Okay. But your mobile broadband network only works here.
So where does your network work?
Pretty much here.
Can I check my email on your computer?
Sure.
Thanks.
Singular has mobile broadband coverage in more cities worldwide than Sprint. Singular, now the new AT&T. Your world delivered. Now get the Laptop Connect card for only $49.99.
Once upon a time, there was this idea. One of those proverbial big ideas. An idea so big that it needed help making the leap between possibility and reality. This big idea, it's your idea. Now who's going to help you make it real?
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented on ESPN by Orbitz. Save big at Orbitz.com. Just Orbitz and go. And in part by Chevy, an American revolution.
Oklahoma and Ole Miss here in Dayton fighting for the right to play Tennessee in the regional final on Tuesday. Oklahoma advanced to the national title game back in 2002. Ole Miss has never been to the Final Four. Paris on the bench right now, as you saw for Oklahoma. Her twin sister, Ashley, 3 minutes older than Courtney, into the game for the first time today. She's pretty good too. 7.7 rebounds per game on the year. Again, hands in the passing lane as Forrest knocks it out of bounds.
You've got to sharpen up your angle. You have got to make a shorter pass. The cross-court passes against the matchup zone will not work.
That's 6 deflections already and 4 turnovers forced by Ole Miss's defense. Leah Rush has really picked up her play in the postseason, averaging 15 points per game in the NCAA tournament after 10 in the regular season. 8-0 Oklahoma run.
Oklahoma doing a great job sprinting back and getting in that zone because Ole Miss is going to push it quickly out of the net.
That's 5 points now for our Mincy Price, all SEC first-team member. Got 5 of the 8 for the Lady Rebels. Here's Ashley Paris out to Plumley. She can shoot it from there. Pretty good on the year, but unable to knock that one down. And then an Oklahoma foul. That's 2 on Thompson, 2 on the Sooners as a team. That
would be the 8th three-point basket that our Minnie Price has made this season. And Carol Ross is on the sideline. As soon as the shot goes up, she's yelling go. She's expecting her team is going to get the rebound and push the other way.
And we're trying to figure out in our first game featuring Tennessee if there's anything Candace Parker can't do. There's not much that Courtney Paris can't do. The one knock on our Mincy Price for Ole Miss was three-point shooting, 17% of the year, but able to knock down the 3 the last time down the floor.
Well, it hasn't been a consistent part of her game, but she's certainly capable of developing that, but she hasn't needed it. She can get to the rim on anybody in the country.
Last touch by Ole Miss. Awkward missed the shot, and it went off of a Lady Rebel out of bounds.
You'll see pressure everywhere from Carol Ross's team defensively. They gamble. You don't know when the traps are coming, but they're going to trap and they're going to go for steals.
Price tried to save it, but they say that she was out of bounds.
You've got to ball fake. You've got to shift that zone. You know they're going to gamble. They will take a ball fake.
Higgins goes to the bench for Oklahoma. Chelsea Welch, senior, into the game. Here's Courtney Paris. No, that's just her second miss. Price racing back down the floor. Too strong, and then last touch by the Sooners.
Great defense by Leah Rush to contest without fouling.
Price into the lane. Great shot over Paris. That's 7 now for Price. Playing with a heavy heart this year. Her mom, Beatrice, passed away from ovarian cancer last summer at age 49. Price coming up with a steal. She's got 7 of the 10 for Ole Miss and got fouled on her way to the goal.
Arminty Price on the out-of-bounds play is going to curl off the screen. Now watch her right here. Here she's going to be. She's going to inbound the basketball. Here comes the screen. She's going to curl. Freeze it right there. There's the curl. Look, no ball pressure. Price reads it completely. One dribble move and finish with her right hand going to her right, where she is very difficult to guard.
Ball was on Leah Rush. Her first, third on Oklahoma. We talked with Ole Miss head coach Carol Ross about the fact that Arminty Price is so underrated, and Ross just said, you know, that's our fault for not winning more. If we were winning more, Price would be featured more nationally. That's 9 for Price and a 4-point Ole Miss lead.
She has been in the shadow of Simone Augustus at LSU and Candace Parker at Tennessee her entire career. Both of those are great players, but I've said all along she's one of the best players nobody's ever heard of.
Again, quick hands on one end and the other. Black with a steal, Awkward with a finish, and it's a 6-point Ole Miss lead. 4 steals already for the Lady Rebels. And that pass hit an Ole Miss player, so it will stay Oklahoma ball. Substitutions for the Lady Rebels. Fresh legs off the bench. They're on a 9-0 run.
I call it organized chaos for Ole Miss because it's all about tips and delays, disruption. Steal, score, steal, score. And when they steal it and score on the other end, they're going to keep bringing the heat. They are relentless in their pressure and their work ethic on the defensive end.
Leah Rush to the bench. Kendra Moore in for Sherry Cole's team. And 4 steals by Ole Miss, 6 turnovers by the Sooners, and only 4 made shots. It's not a good ratio. Shot clock inside of 5 seconds. Ashley Paris takes it to the goal. Can't finish. And out of there with it is Awkward. Challenging Plumley, and another Oklahoma foul. The Women's NCAA Championship continues tonight on ESPN2. Both Dallas regional semifinals at 7 Eastern. Purdue and Georgia, followed by North Carolina and George Washington. Already one #1 seed ousted Duke yesterday by Rutgers. Foul on Plumley, your first, 4th on Oklahoma. Awkward, a 72% foul shooter, hits the first. Price will go to the bench. Had a cut on her leg, at least put a bandage on it, so you assume Price will return shortly.
She's a player that plays almost 34 minutes a game. She never looks like she sweats. She works so hard and is one of the most relentless players on the defensive end. Leads the nation in steals.
124 steals coming into the game. Big 3 by Jenna Plumley. Oklahoma needed that. 41% from behind the arc this year for Plumley.
How about the toughness? No rebounders back. She's got the pull-up J in transition.
Sean Goff cleans it up inside, back to a 7-point lead for Ole Miss.
See, Goff already doing a good job. She's blocked Paris' shot one time. Now she's cleaning up inside on the offensive end.
Ashley trying to high-low to sister Courtney. And Oklahoma gives it away for the 7th time.
It's hard to simulate that speed and that athleticism.
Barty missed the triple. Knocked out of bounds by Oklahoma. 7-point lead for the Lady Rebels in the Sweet 16.
Okay, we got company. Give him a dollar, he'll go away.
Chevy HHR, an American Revolution.
I just had the new DQ Chicken Flamethrower. Watch this. Sorry, the new Flamethrower Chicken Sandwich at Dairy Queen and the original Flamethrower Grill Burger, both with fiery flamethrower sauce, jalapeno bacon, and spicy pepper jack cheese. Do one.
Morning. I appreciate someone who's willing to listen. Hey! Check the air in the ball. Someone I can count on for great coverage. Somebody's got to get to the basket. That's why my go-to guy is my State Farm agent.
For car insurance, nobody matches State Farm's combination of personal service and low rates.
Even I can't argue with that.
Get a quote today and see how your insurance matches up to number one.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
With Minwax water-based wood stains, you can join the color revolution. With 74 dramatic colors, and use Minwax polycrylic protective finish for a crystal clear top coat. The results are revolutionary. Minwax makes and keeps wood beautiful.
Calories provide energy, but how much energy do you need? Powerade Option, the low-calorie sports drink.
They pick up touchdowns, pick up the bucks, and pick up their teams. Enterprise salutes NCAA student athletes for picking us all up. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
This telecast is available in high definition on ESPN2 HD. Ole Miss leading Oklahoma by 7. Courtney Paris with 4 so far in the game for the Sooners. 8 minutes gone by in the first half. Courtney and Ashley's father, Bubba Paris, was a terrific offensive lineman for the San Francisco 49ers. Appeared in 3 Super Bowls with the Niners. Former second-round draft pick out of Michigan. Big fan of women's college basketball. Comes to a lot of games and is here today. I'll tell you what, if Bob Stutz ever needed some help in practice, I think he could suit Courtney and Ashley up, put some pads on them. They'd be pretty good defensive tackles. They got quickness.
Oh, they do. Courtney Paris has great hands. You don't even have to have a good angle to throw the basketball to her. She can catch everything.
With more on the Parises, we bring in Heather Cox.
Well, and the Parises are known as divas and love their wardrobe. Well, their dad, too, came in a gray mock turtleneck. Just how hot is it here in this arena? He actually went and bought a T-shirt to change clothes so that he could cool off. I'm looking at the temperature right now, and it's reading 92 degrees here in the Dayton Arena.
He's still got the sticker on it. He forgot to take that off.
My question is, where do they have a shirt in this building on short notice that fits Bubba Paris?
He attends a lot of games at Oklahoma. So did the Paris' mother.
7 turnovers by the Sooners and only 5 made shots from the field. A lot of time, though, obviously, to go. More too strong from 3. Ashley Paris kept it alive. And now Welch spotting up, drills the 3, led the Big 12 in three-point shooting.
Yeah, that's her 41st make of the season. She's a fantastic three-point shooter, co-rookie of the year and her freshman year in the Big 12.
She was a starter for most of her career, and then Sherry Cole made a tweak in the lineup a few weeks back. It's worked for the Sooners. Jada Mincy working it off the glass.
I thought it was a gutsy move by Sherry Cole to take some seniors out of the starting lineup, Welch being one of them, and putting Jenna Plumley in the lineup. They had lost 3 of 4 regular season games when she made the switch. She wasn't getting the guard play that she needed, and Jenna Plumley has helped this team win 10 in a row since the change.
While on Forrest for Ole Miss is her 1st and the 3rd on the Rebels.
When you adjust people's roles in the middle of the season and they accept it like Chelsea Welch does, that shows the kind of leadership you have. Also shows the quality of the character of players that you have. It's all about winning, and they understand that. There's 6 seniors on this Oklahoma team that want to go to the Final Four with a chance to win the national championship.
It's also, too, the head coach, Sherry Cole, and the job she's done, and she took over that program. They were struggling, won 5 games her first year, and they've been a contender the last few years, going back to that 2002 team led by our own Stacey Dales, that made it to the national title game before losing to Connecticut. Price gets the roll. 11 now for Arminty Price, almost outscoring Oklahoma.
I mean, she's 5'9". She might weigh 140 pounds. Going right with her ability to elevate, you can't stop her.
How about again the quick hands of Ole Miss? And then a turnover by the Rebels, but Ashley Awkward just stuck her mitts in there and ripped it away from an Oklahoma player.
They have terrific footwork on the defensive end. They are committed to bringing the trap. and they are committed to bringing that effort. If you don't play that kind of D with that kind of energy and emotion, you're not going to be playing for Carol Ross. You're going to be sitting on the bench.
The Rebels have forced 8 turnovers. They've got 9 deflections already. 6 steals, too. Ashley Paris to Courtney Paris, and 6 now for Courtney.
They are so good at looking for each other. It's that innate twin thing, especially in the high-low game, where Ashley will catch it up top and always look for Courtney on the low block.
Courtney Paris, an NCAA record, 60 straight double-doubles, 65 and 68 career games. That streak started on December of 2005. There she is altering a shot on defense, and her sister Ashley Paris getting the rebound.
And see, Ole Miss will try to pressure every rebound. There's that cross-court pass you can't throw.
Can't do that against our Minty Price. An easy 2. She's got 13. And Sherry Cole knows you cannot do that against Ole Miss.
She's told her team 100 times in preparation for this, and then they come out and they don't execute it.
9 turnovers in 10.5 minutes by Oklahoma. And now Ole Miss gets called for a foul. That's going to go on Jada Mincy, the first on her 4th team foul for the Rebels. And an Oklahoma timeout. Cole may be wanting to reinforce that point, Debbie, that you just can't make those kind of cross-court passes against the quickness of Ole Miss.
Well, you can't, Dave. I mean, that's the thing. You know it coming in. You try to simulate the kind of speed and quickness they're going to play. I mentioned Texas A&M before. Oklahoma in the 2 losses in the regular season turned it over a total of 52 times in those combined games. So you know coming in here that you have to take care of the basketball. The cross-court pass is not going to work. Talk about taking care of the basketball. Oklahoma is so efficient offensively. They're shooting 54% from the floor. They can't get it to the rim because Ole Miss is everywhere. It looks like there's 6 players on the floor because they're so quick. They anticipate. They cut down the angles. They take away your vision, and they make it difficult for you to see inside to Courtney Paris.
And you talked about those Texas A&M games, 28 and 24 turnovers respectively by Oklahoma in those losses. Bring Heather Cox in.
Well, Sherry Cole got a lot in during that 30-second timeout, obviously starting with taking care of the basketball. Once they do that, she said we have to stop the ball in transition, get the ball to the middle of the court. Then she added Ole Miss is winning all the hustle points. They can't guard us in the paint. Use our strengths, which they're going to right now.
Yep, get it inside to Ashley Paris, and then the kick out to Welch. Back to Paris, to the other Paris. No, Courtney missing. Rebound by Mincy. Good block out.
They make you play faster than you want to play. They dictate tempo with their defense, does Ole Miss, and they speed you up on the offensive end. Sherry Cole's team has been a very poised veteran team all season. Here's where they need to really take care of the ball and make sure they get an open look.
That's a 2 by Ashley Awkward, averaging over 17 per game now in the NCAA tournament. And a foul going to be called on Ole Miss's Awkward. That's her first. You can order copies of every complete game from the 2007 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship through NCAA On Demand at NCAAsports.com. NCAAsports.com is the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships.
What you'll see on the sideline out of Carol Ross, look at her over there. She's like a 3rd defender. She's going to give her team energy and emotion on the defensive end. But what you'll see out of Sherry Cole is poise and composure with a veteran club. She will look poised and stay settled the whole game, which will help her team.
Missed a layup by Forrest. Carol Ross did a great job at Florida, led the Gators to the Elite 8 in '97, and went to her alma mater to take over Ole Miss, and has gotten them in the tournament for the 3rd time in 4 years, and their first Sweet 16 in 15 years. Black on the drive. And it's an 11-point Ole Miss lead. It's largest of the game. Courtney Paris from Ashley Paris. And Courtney Paris now with 8. Father Bubba looking on from the stands, hoping their season's not going to end in the regional semifinals like it did a year ago to Stanford.
This is where Oklahoma can slow it down and they can score and get in that zone.
Shot clock at 7. Here's Price. short, rebounded by Ashley Paris.
Remember the heat that Heather talked about. Over 90 degrees in here. That is tough on big girls.
Courtney Paris wide open. Her sister finds her. And at least Paris now halfway home to 61 straight double-doubles. That's 10 points. And a timeout call by Ole Miss as the lead is down to 7.
Well, Carol Ross going to call a timeout because her team took a play off on defense right there. They looked a little fatigued. Would you talk about fatigue? Hold it right there. Look at the Paris twins right here trailing the play. You got numbers on the other side, 3-on-3, 3-on-2, and that's a nice job of pulling up and scoring by Black. And then this is what I'm talking about. Not enough ball pressure right here by Goff. Looks right down the gut where you can't get help inside, and Courtney Paris scores easily. That forces Carol Ross to call a timeout. And she's challenging Sean Goff right now about fatigue.
And about guarding Courtney Paris, who's 5 out of 8 from the field, 10 points. Ole Miss certainly can score. It led the SEC in scoring during the regular season. And the shot clock above the basket to our right is not working.
Carol Ross told me yesterday she was demonstrating to her team how she expected to see what she wanted to see out of the Paris twins in running up and down the floor. She said, I don't even want to see them cross midcourt. I want our speed to be such a factor that we are scoring on the other end before the Paris twins have a chance to get back and play defense.
Well, somebody pulled the plug, literally. That's why the shot clock went out. And Carol Comanito, one of the officials, actually went and fixed it, just plugged it back in. Ole Miss ball with a 7-point lead, 7 minutes remaining in the first half. A spot in the Elite Eight and a matchup with Tennessee on Tuesday night is on the line.
Oklahoma showing some of their own pressure.
And an interception by Amanda Thompson. And then a foul on Black. 7-point lead for the Rebels.
We knew the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year would be a tough act to follow. So we took the lead instead. Introducing the most powerful heavy duty on the planet, the all-new Silverado HD. This is our country. Weeknights, ESPN News keeps you current. Warm up with pregame analysis. Stay up to date with Game Time live look-ins and a recap of the night's action on Postgame. Weeknights starting at 7, only on ESPN News. 36 million tuned in for the first dance.
The competition just began right now.
11 new stars get one more chance to win your vote. Dancing with the Stars live Monday 8/7 Central only on ABC.
Looking for a new job or career change? Visit us online at jobsinmadison.com and check out job opportunities from the area's top employers. Premier companies hiring right now include Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection, Peterson, Johnson & Murray, TDS, Economolk Memorial Hospital, Rainsoft, St. Clair Hospital and Health Services, Badger Utility, Bright Products, and Richland Hospital. These top local employers are actively seeking the best candidates. Visit us online at jobsinmadison.com and find your new job today.
Hi everyone, Bob Mesacomer here, inviting you to join me each week as my guests and I pursue trophy game fish from Brazil to Alaska. Learn how, why, and when as we challenge nature's obstacles each week on rivers, lakes, and reservoirs for everything from bass and beyond. You won't believe your eyes. It's totally authentic, and it's Simply Fishing.
Watch Simply Fishing every Saturday and Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on Charter Main Street, Channel 18.
Trey Wingo here updating you on Tennessee and Marist. Tennessee is through to the regional final. Candace Parker, 16 points as the Lady Vols await the winner of Ole Miss and Oklahoma, David Debbie.
Like taking candy from a baby for Candace in that first game, especially in the first half. Parker and many of the other Lady Vols looking to see who they will play on Tuesday in the regional final. Ole Miss with the 7-point lead on Oklahoma, the 7 seed over the 3 seed. Ole Miss hasn't been to the Elite Eight since its last Sweet 16 trip in '92, and Van Chancellor at the helm.
Well, we have seen Oklahoma take care of the basketball and be able to score. Now we're going to keep track of these two coaches working it on the sideline, because I'm going to tell you right now, Carol Ross was the best defensive player in Ole Miss's history by steals until our Minty Price showed up. So she's playing a little D over there on the sideline right now.
Thompson on the drive, can't bank it in, and Price with a rebound. Look how quick she gets out of there, and then races down floor to find the open man, and the basket for Alicia Easley.
Minty Price is one of those players that's going to hurt you in the open court, whether she's at the front of the break or whether she's receiving on the break. Either way, she can finish, and she can make both ways she can make her team better.
Welch, no. And Easley getting inside of Courtney Paris to get the rebound. Oklahoma's having a tough time getting down floor, and you wonder how much the 90-degree temperatures here in the University of Dayton Arena are impacting them. Leads back to 11 as Price now gets her 15th point. Rush, an open three.
Now Rush, one of the better three-point shooters in the Big 12 as well. Ole Miss cuts the court in half, and they're going to gamble on the strong side and take away every option. You've got to be able to have vision to see all the way across. You're not going to get that pass every time.
And Debbie, you talked earlier about the Paris twins having trouble getting down floor. It's almost like 5-on-4. When they're in transition, Courtney Paris, an excellent shot blocker, is not a factor defensively because she's not even down the court. Here she gets the rebound as Ole Miss unable to score in the half court. When they get in transition, they're scoring every time. Paris way off of that. Price with her 4th rebound. She averages 9 boards per game at 5'9".
The only guard in the history of the SEC to lead the league in rebounding. One of the best rebounding guards in America.
Getting a jump out of the gym. And she averages 5 assists per game, too, to go along with 19 points.
Only player in the SEC to lead her team and lead anybody in the league in scoring, rebounding, assists, and steals.
Another empty possession. 4 rebounds, 10 points for Courtney Paris. On her way to her 61st consecutive double-double. They're going to say that it remains Oklahoma basketball.
And Dave, check out the coaches right here. You got Sherry Cole on the right. She's trying to stay composed. She's trying to tell her team if they stay cool, they'll be fine. And Carol Ross is over there coaching up the defense. You know, most teams want to have their offense on their end of the floor to start the game. Not Carol Ross. She wants her defense on her end of the floor.
Unhappy with the defense there as Rush got an easy 3 and now an easy 2. And it's a 6-point game. 4.5 to go in the first. Rush has not missed from the field today. Awkward got fouled on her way to the goal. That's on Plumley. That's 2 on her. 5 team fouls in Oklahoma. Now, one of the reasons, Deb, why this is only a 6-point game is because Oklahoma's actually making shots. Ole Miss isn't able to get out in transition.
Yeah, when Ole Miss, or when Oklahoma is scoring, they can get back and set up their defense, and they have been efficient when they've taken care of the basketball. But they've been an efficient offensive team all season. They led the league in the Big 12 in field goal percentage at 47% a game and almost 77 points a game.
Awkward got them both. 8 points for her. 8-point Ole Miss lead. And then Oklahoma with another unforced error. 11 turnovers by the Sooners. The Women's NCAA Championship continues on ESPN and ESPN HD tomorrow. 2 regional final games. First at 7 Eastern. Rutgers and Arizona State. That's right, Duke, the #1 overall seed, knocked out by the Knights yesterday. And then in Fresno, it's LSU and Connecticut at 9 Eastern time for the right to go to Cleveland in the Final Four. These 2 teams playing for the right to go to the Elite Eight on Tuesday here in Dayton against Tennessee. As that goes for 3, Welch out of the corner, and the Sooners cut it to 5.
That's an emotional play right there. Welch with Price coming, flying out at her, sticks it.
Barty not even close, got her own miss, no. Offensive rebound for Goff, and she'll go to the line. We got a good one late in the first half here in Dayton. 5-point game.
Sportage. With 28 miles per gallon, available V6, and a 5-star crash safety rating, the SUV with everything is perfect for everyone. The Kia Sportage, now with special 1.9% APR financing.
Wood finishing projects can feel too big to tackle, but Minwax always makes it easy with rich wood stains and clear protective finishes. It's that simple. Minwax makes and keeps wood beautiful.
Innovations from Siemens can be found everywhere. By integrating communications, building technologies, and advanced medical systems, we're creating digital hospitals that can provide higher quality patient care. Siemens, we're turning dreams into reality.
So he sent me the most beautiful bouquet ever.
What'd the card say?
Only something beautiful for my something beautiful.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. Everyone here has been joking. He must have done something really bad. You don't think... you don't think he could have... Oh...
Singular is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered. Now get an ultra-thin Samsung phone for only $19.99.
They pick up their games, pick up their teams, and pick up the pace. Enterprise salutes NCAA student athletes for picking us all up. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Trey Wingo here with Kara and Stacy in the studio. Ole Miss out and running.
Yeah, I think when you look at Oklahoma offensively, too much of an over-reliance on quick jump shots. That allows Ole Miss to get out and get those easy buckets.
And if Oklahoma's going to sag and drop in defensively, you have to block out on the shot, uncontested shots.
They got to try and survive this wave in the first half and then maybe regroup in the second half. We'll let you know what happened in the first game in the Dayton region. That's all coming up at the half. But Dave and Debbie, Ole Miss, they're running everybody out of the gym.
Armini Price, just fun to watch, Trey. 15 points, 6 of 10 from the field, and he's why Ole Miss has a 5-point lead, but the Sooners slowly creeping back in. They were down 11, but it's now a 5-point game. 10 points for Courtney Paris to go along with 4 rebounds.
Well, it has been Ole Miss's tempo created by their defense, and Armini Price, who leads the nation in steals, has been the trigger on the defensive end. They fly all over the place defensively. You don't know when the traps are coming. Carol Ross doesn't necessarily have any set play in. They play that matchup, and they are very athletic, very aggressive, and 3 seniors for Carol Ross have been playing this defense for 4 years.
Oklahoma is shooting 52% from the field, but 11 turnovers by the Sooners. Back to a 6-point Ole Miss lead. Under 4 to go in the first half. Tennessee is up next for the winner of this game on Tuesday in the regional final.
Brittany Brown in, who will be the 3rd point guard to get a try against this fresher.
Shot clock inside of 10. Courtney Paris calling for it. Instead, Brown shoots way off, but Ashley Paris is there. A foul in the basket.
Now, Ashley Paris, a great job on the weak side. That's got to make Dad happy. Several possessions, Courtney Paris has not gotten a touch. See, right here, she looked like she was open, but the vision is being taken away to the inside, and then Ashley Paris doing a great job weak side boarding.
You know, Bubba, Deb, has got to love the publicity his daughters are getting. Don't forget, he was an offensive lineman. It was Joe Montana and Jerry Rice getting all the pub when he was with San Francisco. He's got to love this. Everybody talking about Courtney and Ashley Paris, in particular Courtney, and what she's been able to do this year.
He's got to be proud at what nice young ladies he's helped raise. Those two are the more unassuming stars that you would imagine. They are just so pleasant off the court. Courtney Paris is one of the best personalities in the game.
Oklahoma is within 3, over 3 minutes to go in the first half. Ole Miss has not been able to get out in transition the last 6 or 7 minutes.
You see how wide the zone is right here? That leaves driving angles. Just like that, Ashley Awkward doing a great job getting inside the zone, attacking at the elbow.
And Sean Goff with the basket, sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida. Here's Ashley Paris. Turned it over in the double team, and here comes Price. 15 points already, looking for more. Got it, and a foul.
Vintage Arminty Price. The trap on the baseline, the steal, and there's no way you're going to catch her. One of the best open court finishers in the women's game. 5'9", maybe 150 pounds. Wasn't even highly recruited to play basketball. Received more offers for track, and you can see why with her teams, with her speed, end to end. You know, she was fast as a freshman, Dave, and she's still fast as a senior, but she's gotten fast with the ball in her hands. Her freshman year, she couldn't handle like that in the open court.
Here is a Bubba Paris's reaction to that last drive and score by Price.
He's going, man, that girl can fly. Who is that Arminty Price? She's one of the more unheralded players across the country.
Well, he played with a lot of athletes that had that kind of ability in the National Football League. In terms of the athleticism, the quickness up and down the court that Arminty Price brings to this Ole Miss team as the Rebels turned it over there. But Price has 17 points on 7 of 11 shooting.
Again, Black doing a great job getting inside. Just didn't finish the play. Turned it over. Carol Ross says, have a seat.
Now, the other thing about Price is she's been the defensive player of the year 2 years in the SEC. That's hard to do. Think of all the great athletes in that league. And to be the defensive player of the year twice. Ashley Paris with the deuce inside as we hit the 2-minute mark. Oklahoma within 5 again. Price to Easley. Too strong from 3. Paris the rebound. Nobody picks Brown up, but short with it, and Price gets hammered by Rush. That's the second personal foul on Leah Rush, 8th on Oklahoma. Let's check in with Heather, who's got more on Arminty Price.
Well, Arminty's a practicing Pentecostal, and that religion does not allow girls to wear pants. So her mother, Beatrice, told her she could only play basketball in high school if she wore a skirt. So the high school home ec teacher sewed a piece of an old game jersey over the shorts and made a skirt that looked an awful lot like a skirt. When she got to college, it was the first time ever she'd worn shorts as part of her uniform. I asked her if she'd ever play in a skirt again. She said, only if it's throwback day would I ever put that on again.
Well, she takes a strong hit right here on the glass. Leah Rush and Arminty Price get tangled up. There's 2 tough competitors right there.
That was right in the chops, but Price bounces up and hits the free throw. She's got 19 in the first half, averaging 25 per game in the tournament, had 28 against Maryland. And she's shooting close to 75% from the field in the NCAA tournament. Missed shot by Welch, but Ashley Paris has come up big in the first half for Oklahoma. Gives the Sooners another chance, but a missed 3 by Rush, and guess who's got it for Ole Miss? Price to Awkward. Into the hands of Rush.
Brittany Brown head up, knows the trap's coming, wants to get rid of it before. You get the ball in the middle of the court. Look how quickly they collapse defensively. They just close things down.
A lot of contact, no call. Now a call on the other end is an offensive foul on Awkward, her second.
Well, Brittany Brown doing a great job getting back in transition. You can't fault the effort by Ole Miss trying to create pace. Good defensive job by Brittany. The senior who lost her starting position to Jenna Plumley, coming in and adjusting her role, making a big defensive play.
18 foul on Ole Miss. On the player control foul, no free throw despite the bonus. Both teams in the bonus under a minute to go. And another Oklahoma turnover. That's 15 by the Sooners in the first half. Easley with a pull-up, Jay, no. Rush the rebound. Brown finds Courtney Paris, missed once but not twice. He's got 12. About a 1-second difference between the game and shot clocks as the Rebels will hold for 1. into the arms of Arminty Price. 10 seconds to go. Price with 5. Black for 3, couldn't bank it in, and that's the end of the first half. Ole Miss led by as many as 11 in that opening half, but Courtney Paris had 12 points, 6 rebounds to keep the Sooners in it. Great first half for Arminty Price. She had 19 and 6 rebounds. Let's check in now with Heather.
Coach Ross, I saw you just chatting with the officials. What are you upset about?
I want the charge call. The Paris twins have a lot of girth, but it's still our space, and I want a right to our space.
You guys have forced 15 first-half turnovers. How important has pace and pressure been in this game so far?
Well, we're all about pace and pressure. We need to play fast on both ends of the floor, create some easy opportunities, and it's a hothouse in here, but I've got to hope the Sooners are more warm than we are when it comes to fatigue.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Dave?
Ole Miss forced 15 Oklahoma turnovers, and the Rebels have a 5-point lead at the half. Now to Trey Wingo in the studio. Trey.
All right, Dave, thanks very much. Welcome into the halftime show. Glad you're here with us. Trey Wingo, Kara Lawson, Stacey Dales. Guys, we knew it was coming from Ole Miss. Boy, I tell you, they only have 5 on the court, but it sure looks like at times they have 6, 7, and 8.
Man, this team is like a pack of wild, crazed dogs, and the ball is the meat. I mean, they attack the basketball on defense. You take a look here in the first half, Oklahoma just seems flustered. The speed, the attack mentality of Ole Miss on the defensive end, and that's what leads to what they do so well is transition opportunities. Look at Arminty Price close that gap. She looked like Champ Bailey closing that gap in the defensive backfield.
Good NFL reference.
It doesn't end, Trey. This is not something they do one possession or a press that they go in and out of. It's something that they do every single possession, every single defensive possession.
It's so impressive, Kara, Trey, what they do. So the question is, what does Oklahoma do offensively to counter this? You have to get the ball to the middle of the floor. You can't use skip passes as we saw Maryland do, as we saw Oklahoma do in this first half. And you get the ball there by bounce passing it and letting it have eyes, seeing the defense, reading the defense, and using simply ball fakes. Oklahoma hasn't exercised ball fake usage in the first half. If you do that, shuffle the defense, and you'll find open opportunities down low.
15 first-half turnovers for Oklahoma, and as bad as that sounds and as quick as Ole Miss has been, they're only down 5 points, so it's not as dire as you might think for Oklahoma, but they've got to find more protection with that basketball and not give up the easy ones. When we return, Rocky Top was happy earlier. We'll tell you how Tennessee tap danced all over Cinderella. Go clean up your room, Cinderella.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented on ESPN by Orbitz, is brought to you by a new kind of crossover vehicle, the all-new Kia Rondo. Kia, the power to surprise.
Flight 27 has been canceled due to weather. Our next departure is 6 a.m. tomorrow.
No, hey, lady. It's time to play Take on Orbitz. Today's players have bad weather, must book a hotel before the other 200 passengers. Go.
Awkward?
Yes. Dentmore. Oh, no vacancy. Orbitz TLC lets you find a hotel right from your phone. Next time, Orbitz and go.
Experience giddy-uppiness. Explore precision steerology. Embrace safety all-overness. Introducing a new kind of crossover vehicle, the highly enlightened Kia Rondo. Now for a limited time, get a special introductory offer. Welcome to Rondoism.
They wear the school colors for a few fleeting years, leave behind moments we'll always remember, and take with them the spirit to excel in all they do. That's why the NCAA corporate family provides scholarships, sponsors youth programs, and supports all 23 NCAA sports. They know that while the excitement of college sports is shown in moments, the value lasts a lifetime.
Here are 3 great ideas from Charter: digital cable, high-speed internet, and now home phone service. Get all 3
free for one low monthly price. What a great deal. All of your favorite channels, blazing fast internet connections, and now home phone service that lets you call anyone in the U.S. and Canada anytime, all from a single wire. A satellite dish can't do that. 3 great services, one low price. It's so easy.
Call now for this great offer on Charter Digital, Charter High Speed, and Charter Phone Service.
It's the MadPackers.com door-to-dorm tour. Starring Hinter. With special guest Papa Roach, May 9th, live at the Coliseum at Alliant Energy Center. Hinder. And special guest Papa Roach. Tickets are on sale now. Produced by AEG Live. Hinder's Extreme Behavior. In stores everywhere.
Our Minty Price with a monster first half for Ole Miss, as Ole Miss has the early lead at the half on Oklahoma. Tennessee and Marist, the early game.
They haven't seen defense like they're going to see today. They haven't.
You have an opportunity to make really, arguably, the greatest history in women's basketball. And if that doesn't excite you, if that doesn't pump you up, you're obviously in the wrong locker room.
They also haven't seen a player like Candace Parker that they saw in the first half, Karen.
No, Candace Parker really set the tone for her team, and she said it in an interview after the game. She said, we wanted to let them know from the start that they wouldn't be able to play with us, and we wanted to make the outcome decided.
Yeah, 7 of 7 shooting, 14 in the first half. They were up by 21. Marist hung in there those days.
Yeah, Marist hung in there. They play as a team. They move the basketball. Meg Dahlman started to get a little bit tougher on the interior, but Tennessee just too much. Too many weapons. Shannon Bobbitt had a slow go from the outside, but 1 3-pointer, and that was the only one.
And then Alex Fuller, a player that doesn't score a ton for Tennessee, had a couple of 3-pointers late. And you really saw just the overall ability level difference in this game, and that was where Tennessee pulled away.
Yeah, I think it was their length, their athleticism. They really challenged Marist and didn't allow them to run the offense the way they were used to in earlier rounds in the tournament.
Final score, 65-46. It was 21 at the break. So once again, third time a 13 seed gets to the Sweet 16. Not one of them has won a game yet in the Sweet 16. Pat Summitt's team's 47-0 in the tournament against a team seeded worse than 4. The SEC now 11-1 in this tournament. Ole Miss trying to do their part to hold that record up. As for Pat Summitt and what she thought of her squad.
Went into halftime feeling great about things. Came out in second half. I thought we played in spurts defensively, and obviously they only had, 4 turnovers second half. And I think that we had some people on the defensive end that didn't play at the same level of intensity that we need to do. And if you're a team trying to get to a Final Four, you need to understand that every possession, which is what I shared with our team. But I'm obviously proud of how we played and overall finished out this game. Survive and advance, that's what you do.
Well, they certainly did. They survived and they advanced, and they did a lot more than survive. They thrived in this contest. And again, you said it in the highlights there, Kara. I think Pat and Candace and everybody wanted to come out and say, guys, it's been a nice story, but it's our time of the year.
Yeah, this is a team that is definitely focused. I think as you look forward, as they move into latter rounds in this tournament, there's going to be more attention paid to Candace Parker on the offensive end. Double teams, triple teams, trying to get the ball out of her hands. I think it's crucial that other players like Sydney Spencer, like Shannon Bobbitt, maybe even Alex Fuller, knock down shots, because I think when you get to the upper levels, you get to the top teams, other coaches aren't going to let Candace Parker beat you.
Absolutely not. And, you know, Pat Summitt relies so much upon her defense. And I think the unique thing about this Tennessee defense is they can go a number of different ways, very versatile defensively. I love the fact, for instance, that you can take Nikki Anisicki, who is your center, at 6'3", 6'4", and put her on the perimeter just as Pat did against Flores and Biani, or you can go with Shannon Bobbitt, who is a whippersnapper out there, and she can create havoc full court all throughout the game. So the unique defensive approach for Tennessee.
Tennessee is through to the regional finals. They await the winner of this game between Ole Miss and Oklahoma to find out who they'll play to get to the Final Four. Oh, don't you love it when siblings share? Ashley to Courtney. Courtney halfway to her 61st double-double, but they're down at the break.
The versatile Kia Sportage with 28 miles per gallon, available V6, and a 5-star crash safety rating. The SUV with everything is perfect for everyone. The Kia Sportage, now with special 1.9% APR financing.
I talk.
I swing.
I hit.
I fly. And I throw. Like a girl. At State Farm, we've always believed in the spirit of the female athlete. That's why we're committed to supporting women's athletics.
This chicken flamethrower sandwich is amazing.
Yeah. Why do we have to inhale when we talk?
Trust me, if you exhale, flames will shoot out of your mouth.
What? You said flames?
Just close your mouth!
The heat is on. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Sandwich and the original Flamethrower Burger. Because one good burn deserves another. And cool off with a Mint Oreo Blizzard Treat.
Hey guys. Sorry. I think the printer's out of ink.
Just shake it.
That is your money, man.
Stage.
Out of ink? Now when you buy ink or toner at Staples, you can enter to win a $10,000 daily cash prize. No purchase necessary. Staples, that was easy.
I was an offensive lineman for 4 years. I no longer wear pads, but I still carry a lot of weight on my shoulders.
There are over 380,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of them will be going pro in something other than sports.
Coming up later on tonight, Georgia and Purdue. Purdue a 2-seed, the only 2-seed remaining. 2 seeds have won the last 3 NCAA championships. And then you have number 1 North Carolina taking on George Washington. Number 1 North Carolina, powered by Ivory Latta, fuel to her fire. Let's just say she likes to go fast on the court and off it.
I'm definitely into dirt bikes, four-wheelers, motorcycles. I'm pretty much off the edge type person. You would never know that. But yeah, my dad actually bought me a dirt bike in high school. And whenever I signed the national letter of intent to come to North Carolina, the dirt bike disappeared. So I don't know where it's been or, you know, if it's okay or anything, but somehow it disappeared. I think Coach Hatcher had a lot to do with that. I definitely watch the X Games. Yeah, I definitely. Every time I watch it, sometimes I call my mom, my dad, like, yeah, don't worry, I'm going to get me a four-wheeler dirt bike. Don't worry.
I think if Sylvia ever saw Ivory do that, things would change forever in their relationship. Second half coming up between Ole Miss and Oklahoma. It is a 5-point lead for Ole Miss.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented on ESPN by Orbitz, is brought to you by Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA.
Kelly loves 2 things, UCLA basketball and his Pontiac Torrent crossover. The upgrade in fuel economy allows him to drive to every game. The upgrade in design allows him to drive in style. And the upgrade in seating capacity allows him to drive with tonight's officiating crew and a hypnotist.
Technical foul, Louisville.
Sweet.
Get your upgrade now at the Pontiac Upgrade event and get a 100,000-mile 5-year powertrain warranty standard. Plus, get 0% financing and $1,000 bonus cash on most Pontiac models. The Pontiac Upgrade event ends April 3rd.
Everybody's gonna love today, any way you want to, any way you've got to.
The Verizon Wireless Motorola sale. Your chance to save up to 50% off Motorola phones. Now get great deals on the Q, just $79.99. The Crazer, just $49.99. Or the Razr, just $39.99. But hurry, sale ends March 31st. Your favorite phones in your favorite colors from your favorite wireless network. Verizon Wireless.
Of fencing and 3 years of law school teach you a lot. For him, it's confidence. For me, it's pride. Go to ncaastudent.org to find out how your child could become one of the many student athletes who go pro in something other than sports.
Easy weekend projects available at Menards. Tuscany kitchen faucets feature elegant finishes and styles guaranteed for life. Featuring this stylish pull-out faucet in white or chrome, your choice only $69. Relax in style with the white Seawave Whirlpool Ensemble from Lions. It includes the Whirlpool and Surround and has 4 adjustable chrome jets, extra deep shelves, and a shower rod, just $789. Quality products for low prices at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Main Street Bistro lets you purchase local restaurant gift certificates for half price. Now Charter has increased your opportunities for saving with Main Street Deals. Main Street Deals is the place where you can find half-price deals to local establishments. Whether it's half price on ski passes, spa or salon certificates, rounds of golf, or even theater passes, we've got the deals. New certificates go on sale each Tuesday at 10 a.m. Simply log on to chartermainstreet.com and click the Main Street Deals tab to see what local establishment is featured this week and buy a gift certificate for half price.
A spot in the Elite Eight on the line in Dayton and an opportunity to play Tennessee on Tuesday. Ole Miss leading by 5. The Rebels forced 15 Oklahoma turnovers, Debbie Antonelli, in that first half. Sooners got to find a way to protect the ball better in the second half.
If they could take care of the basketball and eliminate the live ball turnover, it will take away Ole Miss's team speed. It'll allow Oklahoma to set up their zone and force Ole Miss to hit some shots. Make Ole Miss set it up. Don't give them a layup. Because Oklahoma is shooting 47% from the floor. That's what they average, but they have turned it over too much, and they have let Ole Miss dictate the total tempo of the first half.
The Paris twins combined for 17 points and 13 rebounds for Oklahoma. Courtney at 12.7 boards as Plumley misses the 3. Arminty Price had 19 points and 6 rebounds to go along with 3 steals in only 18 minutes. Forrest missing. Offensive rebound, and then Courtney Paris comes over for the swat.
Big time block by Paris, and it triggers their transition game, and Higgins doesn't keep running the lane.
Time now for our coaching adjustments brought to you by the Home Depot. Here's Heather Cox.
When I talked to Oklahoma's Sherry Cole, she just walked up to me and rolled her eyes and said, before I even asked her, we've got to take care of the ball. I asked her, how do you fix the turnover problem? She said, we must slow down. Ole Miss takes you out of your comfort level and makes you play too fast. She added, if we just get the ball to the high post and down to the low blocks and box out, we'll be just fine. Another note, in the tunnel, Courtney Paris pulled her twin Ashley aside and said, Ashley, we need you to be more aggressive in the second half.
Well, you wonder about fatigue playing a factor because Courtney Paris had to play 19 first half minutes. Ashley played 12.
Higgins too strong. Rebound by Jada Mincy. Awkward racing back up the floor. Rising for 2. No, there's Price again. And threw it out of bounds off of an Oklahoma player.
It is very difficult to match the relentless effort Arminty Price gives you on the glass. There's only one other player that we've seen that plays like that. That's Khadijah Whittington at NC State.
And she led her squad to the Sweet 16 before bowing last night to Connecticut. Price on the baseline. Paris going to get called for the foul. That's her first.
Well, that's a good thing for Oklahoma that Courtney Paris in those 19 minutes didn't have any fouls in the first half. You will see her become more aggressive and more dominant block to block.
They actually called Amanda Thompson for that foul. That's her 4th. So you see Ashley Paris going to come in, play alongside her sister again. Now they are going to change it back to Courtney Paris now. They changed the call and say that it's on Paris for first. So Ashley Paris goes back to the Oklahoma bench.
Shooting 2.
Well, we talked in the first half about Price not having a good 3-point shooting percentage. She's not a great free throw shooter either, 59%. But so far today, she's 5 of 6 at the line.
Well, in those 28 points she had against Maryland in the upset, knocking off number 2, she was 10 for 11 from the free throw line.
Now you look at on the season, Ole Miss 62% from the line, not good. But against Maryland, they were 24 of 27 as a team. They're 10 of 12 today, and they've got a 6-point lead. Higgins too strong for three. Thompson boards. Can't put it back. Courtney Paris kept it alive. Unable to score on the reverse. And here comes Price again for Ole Miss. Awkward's two is good.
Price gets the rebound. She gets numbers. She never outlets it. I want to go back to what I said in the first half, Dave. Her freshman year, she couldn't get it off the glass and go like that and handle in the full court. That's how much her game has evolved. I think she's the second best player in the SEC all season behind Candace Parker.
Tough to argue with her numbers, certainly. Courtney Paris off the feed from Higgins hit the side of the backboard. And again, you wonder how much fatigue might be playing a factor with the fact it's over 90 degrees in this building with Courtney Paris.
Watch Price. Rebound, Phil. They run the lanes. They run it wide. She gets in the paint, distributes to the open jump shooter.
Foul was on Denitra Forrest, her first. Or make that second in the first on Ole Miss and a half.
Ole Miss does everything fast, Dave. They eat fast, talk fast, walk fast, get on and off the bus fast.
And they sing fast. We saw that in the locker room before the game. And that's another Oklahoma turnover. Higgins threw it away. 17 turnovers, and guess what? Courtney Paris now 61 consecutive double-doubles, an NCAA record. She's got 12 and 12 today.
She is a phenomenal post player. Maybe the best we've ever seen in the women's game. A lot of people tout her as that.
Courtney Paris already with 5 rebounds in 2.5 minutes in the second half, and then a foul on Ole Miss going on Mincy. That's her third, second on the Rebels in the half.
There's been a lot of great post players in our game that have led their teams to national championships. You can look at Ann Donovan at Old Dominion. You could talk about Ruth Riley at Notre Dame. You could talk about Rebecca Lobo at Connecticut. There's a lot, and that's just a short list.
Different kinds of players, though, right?
Yes.
Those three in comparison to Courtney Paris?
A lot different, just because Courtney is just dominant and block to block. Ann Donovan was like that, but certainly Ruth Riley and Rebecca Lobo had expanded games out of the post.
Thompson along the baseline, no. Courtney Paris kept it alive and then gets it back from Thompson. Can't score, but she'll go to the line. Courtney Paris with 61 straight double-doubles. Let's compare that to some men. Jason Smith for Colorado State, and then Gasol and Garnett in the NBA.
Are you kidding? I mean, look at those numbers. That's ridiculous. And she's just a sophomore. The numbers that she's put up in rewriting not just the Oklahoma record book, but the NCAA record book. And she's got 2 more years to play in college. She's on pace to become the all-time leading scorer in the NCAA. She is ahead of Jackie Stiles at Southwest Missouri State.
She's the first in history to get 700 points, 500 rebounds, 100 blocks, and she's done it both years at Oklahoma. Played on the under-19 national team a couple years ago for Carol Ross, who was an assistant on that squad, and going up against Ross and her Rebels today, and Oklahoma's within 6, and they got the ball, and then a foul is called on Easley. Her first, 4th on the Rebels in the half. 1 on Oklahoma this half. There's Ross in her 4th year at the helm of her alma mater, trying to get the Rebels into the Elite Eight for the first time since 1992. Oklahoma was last there in 2002 when they made it all the way to the title game before bowing to UConn.
When you reverse the basketball, you usually like to look inside, but the way Ole Miss recovers, and you got to get it in her hands right there. You've got to put the ball in Courtney Paris's hands.
You got to stop ball pressure, though.
Yeah.
Awkward just drove right down the middle of the lane, and then a foul is called on Paris, her second.
And if I'm Courtney Paris, I'm mad at the guards right now because they didn't do anything to stop the progression of the basketball, and that put her in a position to have to commit that foul. It was a layup.
And Awkward, who's got 10 points already, will go to the line.
Erin Higgins, who has been a starter all season for Sherry Cole, only played 6 minutes in the first half. She is their 3-point threat. And they like to have her guard the best offensive player on the perimeter, but she has been neutralized with the team speed of Ole Miss.
Awkward gets them both. It's back to a 6-point Ole Miss lead. The Rebels led by as many as 11 in the first half. Another Oklahoma turnover. That's 18 as Price steals it. And then she gets stripped. Thompson dangerous there with 2 Rebel defenders around her. A little out of control, but scores anyway off the window.
How about that? Amanda Thompson's game is inside 10 feet, and that is strong. Not just Jenna Plumley got the start when Sherry Cole changed the lineup. She put Amanda Thompson in that role as well, and she has responded.
Those 2 freshmen have been terrific in Oklahoma's last 10 games. They won them all, including the Big 12 Tournament Championship. Thompson got a hand on that.
There's timeout on the floor.
Well, 1 more steal for Price on the game. She's got an incredible total for her career.
Russell Athletic, ESPN Arena Football, all season long on ESPN2.
Flight 27 has been canceled due to weather. Our next departure is 6 a.m. tomorrow.
No, hey, lady. It's time to play Take on Orbits. Today's players have bad weather, must book a hotel before the other 200 passengers. Go.
Awkward?
Yes. Dentmore. Oh, no vacancy. Orbits TLC lets you find a hotel right from your phone. Next time, Orbits and go.
When I got my new H3, I customized it. I got the marker lamps, the chrome, but I couldn't stop there.
With Minwax water-based wood stains, you can join the color revolution. With 74 dramatic colors, and use Minwax polycrylic protective finish for a crystal clear top coat. The results are revolutionary. Minwax makes and keeps wood beautiful.
Marshall's Law number 291. See what you saw in department stores for up to half off. Which means you can put twice as much on. Those who know Marshall's Law.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Not good. The board's asking questions. Hard questions.
About our global integration strategy.
Global integration strategy? You know, the world is flat.
Do we have a strategy for that? That's what they want to know.
Uh-oh. Boy.
Oh, no.
Not good. They're looking for innovation.
A plan.
A schedule. Answers.
Soon.
Yesterday. No. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Not good.
What do we do?
This telecast is available in high definition on ESPN2 HD. Oklahoma back within 4 of Ole Miss. A lot of time left here in the second half. And another double-double for Courtney Paris. That's 61 in a row. And Heather Cox is standing by with Bubba Paris.
Indeed, a very interested fan. And Bubba, you've played in 3 Super Bowls, lots of big games. What type of advice were you able to give your girls as they got ready for this big game?
You got to remember what got you here. I mean, they're great players. They got a great system, and they do things fairly well. And so if you don't try to play outside of yourself, play within the confines of your ability, I think that your talent will take over. So if they just remember what got them here, they'll be okay.
Did you get more nervous suiting up for those Super Bowls or watching your girls play?
Well, see, I had control over the Super Bowl. I knew I could always knock out my opponent. Now I'm sitting here cheering my girls on. So you see the game as it's happening. So you sort of anticipate what they're going to do, and it's a lot more nerve-wracking.
A layup by Awkward after another steal. That's 18 Oklahoma make that 19 Oklahoma turnovers as we go back to Heather.
Well, Dave, we've talked so much about the Heat, and Bubba, you actually came in a different shirt, went and bought a Maris t-shirt because it was the only one in double X. In fact, have safety pin Maris shut. You think this Heat's affecting your girls?
The Heat will affect anyone. They got a pressured offense there in Mississippi, so you got to see Oklahoma has to meet that intensity. And so when it's hot out there, it affects you somewhat. But at the end of the day, I think that Oklahoma has what it takes to make the things work in their behalf, and that's the Paris tool.
Absolutely. Spoken like someone that's been there and done that. Back to you guys.
Well, he's not the only one that has a daughter on this team that's been there and done that. Abby Olajuwon, Akeem's daughter, is a freshman on this Oklahoma team as well, as Armini Price is going to get another layup, and Ole Miss is back up 10. Here's Abby Olajuwon. Hasn't played a whole lot this season as a freshman. Oklahoma also has Ben Roethlisberger's sister that is a heavily recruited player that'll be a freshman next year for Oklahoma as Courtney Paris gets a basket on the other end.
Amanda Thompson was the only player that played in the first half that didn't turn it over. She has been the most successful with her size over the smaller trapping players of Ole Miss.
Awkward for three, having a terrific game. 17 now for Ashley Awkward, and it's back to an 11-point edge for the Rebels. Will we have an all-SEC regional final? Tennessee's already there. Ole Miss trying to meet them on Tuesday as Price can't score off the window and Plumley gets the rebound.
The team speed of Ole Miss, impressive the entire 20-plus minutes. They have dictated pace and tempo, and it's all about their defense. They led the SEC in scoring, did Ole Miss, but you say that about Carol Ross's team, and she'll say, we are ugly on the offensive end. If our defense isn't clicking, if we aren't making steals and turning them over with that steal score mentality, we will struggle.
Fourth foul on Thompson. Awkward's three pushes the lead back to 11 for Ole Miss.
My new H3, I customized it. I got the marker lamps, the chrome, but I couldn't stop there.
Hello?
Melissa, it's Josh from last night.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Listen, I know there's that 2-day rule about calling or whatever, and this might sound totally dumb, but did you feel like there was a real connection between us? I mean, you know, like a brother-sister connection? Nothing creepy. I mean, like, you know, I would never make out with my sister.
Singular is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Now get an ultra-thin Samsung phone for only $19.99.
I just had the new DQ Chicken Flamethrower. Watch this. Sorry, the new Flamethrower Chicken Sandwich at Dairy Queen and the original Flamethrower Grill Burger, both with fiery flamethrower sauce, jalapeno bacon, and spicy pepper jack cheese. Do one.
Huh. Calories provide energy, but how much energy do you need? Powerade Option, the low-calorie sports drink.
Don't forget about us, TV. With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
24 points and 5 steals for Arminty Price. 5 of the 15 Ole Miss steals. Oklahoma's turned it over 22 times and trails by 11.
Well, Carol Ross, 12 years at Florida before she took a year off, a little sabbatical, did some TV, and then she's back at Ole Miss in her 4th year. She knows about All-American players. She coached one at Florida. Delisha Milton was a Kodak All-American. I can't believe that Arminty Price will not be on the Kodak All-American list this year. That vote is yet to come out, but the value that she means to her team and what she's done to help rebuild Ole Miss basketball, it's all about Price.
Carla Barty drills a 3, and it's the largest lead of the game for Ole Miss at 14 points. Higgins able to answer from right about the hash mark in front of the Oklahoma bench.
You can't lose Higgins in transition. You got to know where she is.
Mincy, not very good spacing there by Ole Miss. What a great save on the baseline. Ole Miss has dominated in terms of fast break points, as you saw by that graphic. And they've had more success in the second half and the half court. But Brown comes out of there with it for Oklahoma and gets the scoop to drop 4 in a row now for the Sooners.
Brittany Brown getting some valuable minutes in the last 4 games. She's only played 11 total minutes. That's how important Cherry Cole is looking for guard play right now, digging deep to one of her senior leaders. Oklahoma's tried to trap the wings out of their zone when they've made Ole Miss set it up.
Missed three, but another opportunity. Oklahoma looks tired. Higgins was late getting over to Black on that three-point attempt, and Ole Miss getting on the offensive glass.
They're just quicker to every basketball. They can get off their feet faster. And it's just like Tennessee in the Marist game. You can send 3 or 4 to the offensive glass because your team speed can recover enough in transition.
Barté again, no that time. Rebound for Courtney Paris, her 14th board to go along with 18 points.
Carla Barté is a streaky three-point shooter. When she usually hits one, you expect that she's going to keep on firing.
Only 21% on the season from three-point lane.
But she was 5 of 8 in the last couple of games coming in, so she's been hot.
Open is Brown, big three. It's a 2, they say, put on the line, but that's 6 straight for Oklahoma on the heels of Ole Miss getting its largest lead of the day. 9 minutes gone by in the second half. Tennessee awaits on Tuesday in the regional championship game for the right to go to the Final Four. Black comes down and hits a 3.
What about Black sticking her 8th three-pointer of the season? That's when you know things are going your way, when you got Black and Barté coming off the bench and drilling triples.
Black just a freshman. 10-point game midway through the second half. Rush tried to hit Courtney Paris, and Goff knocked it out of bounds. Ole Miss trying to survive and advance to the Elite Eight against Oklahoma, leads by 10.
What are you doing?
Should we pick him up? He has Bud Light.
He has an axe.
But he has Bud Light.
And an axe.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. Hey, buddy. What's with the axe?
It's a bottle opener.
Hop in.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Look, here's Bud Light.
And a chainsaw.
Hoop fans, don't miss your chance to go to the 2008 Women's Final Four, April 6th and 8th at the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa. Log on to ncaasports.com to apply for your tickets online. That's ncaasports.com. And don't forget the 2008 Men's Final Four, April 5th and 7th at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Log on to ncaasports.com to apply for your tickets online. That's ncaasports.com, the official website of the NCAA.
In fishing and hunting television, turn on to Midwest Outdoors magazine every week. We cover your outdoors. Midwest Outdoors magazine, bringing the best of the great outdoors to your living room.
Tune into fishing and outdoor fun you won't want to miss. Watch Midwest Outdoors every Saturday and Sunday at 5 p.m. on Charter Main Street, cable channel 18.
Hey, Mike. I'll be right back.
Thanks.
These are for your rental.
That's it.
Yeah. Body shop is picking up your car. Right. We'll call you.
Thanks.
Switch to Progressive and get complimentary concierge service. It's about you, and it's about time.
10:43 to go for Ole Miss in its quest to go to the Elite Eight for the first time in 15 years. Arminty Price has 24 points to lead the Rebels. Only turned it over 9 times today. Price has 24 points, 8 rebounds, a handful of steals. And as we mentioned in the first half, playing with a heavy heart all year. It's amazing she's been able to have the season she's had with someone very close to her mother, Beatrice, passing away last summer, right before the start of the season, due to ovarian cancer. And talked with Carol Ross, Ole Miss head coach, yesterday about it. And Carol was able to offer some advice on how to handle it. When Ross was a player, going into her senior year, her father passed away from cancer and was able to help Arminty get through that tough time. Shot clock inside of 10. Ashley Paris able to hit sister Courtney, who gets the basket.
See, Oklahoma's defense is not going to necessarily be able to help them turn Ole Miss over, but getting their high-low game going will be critical. Sherry Cole getting out of the zone, going to the man on a made basket.
Barty way off. Knocked out of bounds by Ole Miss.
You've got to put the ball in Courtney Paris's hands. You've been an efficient offensive team all season.
They have forced 22 turnovers, have 22 points off those turnovers, 18 fast break points as well, and 15 steals. On the other end, an Ole Miss foul as again they get it inside, do the Sooners.
Well, they do a nice job of putting Chelsea Welch in the middle of the floor to take out the top part of that zone and screen it off so Brittany Brown could dribble drive right to the A-10.
Foul was on Armini Price, her third, and still a lot of time left. Got to be careful not to pick up that fourth foul with 10 minutes to go.
Entering the ball to Courtney Paris from the high post will be the best option right now for Oklahoma, Dave, because they can't get anything going from the wings. That's where Ole Miss has been bringing their traps and taking vision away inside to Paris.
Ashley Paris gets both free throws. Father Bubba hoping that the season won't end for his sophomore daughters here in Dayton. It's an 11-3 run by Oklahoma to get back within 6. Nice defensive play by senior Brittany Brown, coming up with a steal and the basket on the other end. It's a 4-point game.
Great job by Oklahoma's defense to be able to get a turnover, just the 10th of the game. Right here, Ole Miss has got to withstand an Oklahoma run.
Easily no. Barty is there. Easily this time scores.
How about Carla Barty rebounded and playing some D, not just shooting the 3.
Courtney Paris with it outside, looking for a guard, hands for Welch. Paris calling for it. Nice catch and finish. 22 points for Courtney Paris.
Again, a great seal. The ball entered from the top, not from the wing. Good find by Aaron Higgins.
Courtney Paris during the regular season averaged 23. That's good for third in the country. Ole Miss back down floor, and now 26 for Arminty Price. Neither Price nor Paris has disappointed. Both over 20 with a lot of time left. Welch to Ashley Paris, but a charge first on Welch, her first. The Women's NCAA Championship continues tonight over on ESPN2. Both Dallas regional semifinals, Georgia and Purdue at 7 Eastern, followed by the top seed in that region, North Carolina taking on George Washington. That could be an interesting nightcap at 9 Eastern in Dallas.
Kimberly Beck, Joe McEwen's point guard for GW against Ivory Latta. Sylvia Hatchell's point guard for North Carolina. Will be an interesting matchup.
Notre Dame played North Carolina very well for most of the game last week. Awkward, short with a 3. She's had a big day, 17 points, but unable to hit that one. Now Higgins with it for Oklahoma. And Braun for 3. And it's a 3-point game.
Well, Brittany Brown has had 3 shots like that, roll around the rim and go in.
And then a foul on Courtney Paris. That's her third. And the Sooners are within a triple, under 8 to go.
So, John and I are thinking of going to Cancun, if we can find a good deal.
It's funny. So are Dan and I.
It's time to play Take on Orbits. Today's players want a total vacation, hotel plus flight, and must save over $300. Go.
I need a deal to Cancun.
Oh, that's outrageous.
Done. Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's that easy. Next time, Orbits and go.
Innovative solutions from Siemens can be found everywhere by making buildings more efficient, communications better integrated, medical centers more advanced, power plants and transportation more modern. We're turning dreams into reality.
Men are all about the latest technology. Presenting Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant with advanced triple protection system. It locks out odor, keeps you dry, makes you smell great all day. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. Triple protection technology for men.
They pick up touchdowns, pick up the bucks, and pick up their teams. Enterprise salutes NCAA student athletes for picking us all up. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Morning. I appreciate someone who's willing to listen. Someone I can count on for great coverage.
Somebody's got to get to the basket.
That's why my go-to guy is my State Farm agent.
For car insurance, nobody matches State Farm's combination of personal service and low rates.
Even I can't argue with that.
Get a quote today and see how your insurance matches up to number one.
Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented on ESPN by Orbitz. Save big at Orbitz.com. Just Orbitz and go.
Trey Wingo here. Winner of this game will play Tennessee in the regional final. Candace Parker doing the Candace Parker thing. 16 points. The Vols roll over the Marist Red Foxes. Back to you, Dave.
And here it's a 3-point game. Trey, Ole Miss up on Oklahoma.
You have to be able to get your high-low game going, and in order to do that, you got to make passes that come in the shoot. Aaron Higgins is going to make this pass from the high-low, off the elbow, makes the pass inside to Courtney Paris. Great target hand, away from the defense. The help can't get there in time. If you enter it from the wing, you're going to get trapped. The weak side can collapse, but if you enter it from the top in the high-low game, Ole Miss can't get there in time.
Heather Cox has more.
And during that timeout, Sean Goff just substituted in with explicit instructions from Coach Ross on exactly what Debbie was talking about, how to defend Courtney Paris. They want to push her out of the low blocks before she catches the ball. Coach Ross also said you can have more ball pressure on the guards. That will help, and play her early, get her out of the key. One other note, both teams now using ice towels during every timeout, wrapping them around their neck, trying to lower the body temperature. It remains 91 degrees inside the arena.
Could you send a couple of those over here for me and Dave? Man, it is great. I mean, as a player, you got to. I would love playing in an environment like this.
It's humid in this building. Temperature over 90 degrees here. Rarely does the word hot and Dayton go together. It does with Courtney Paris, as right now she is just storming Oklahoma back into this game, putting the Sooners on her back. They're within 2. Paris has 24 now and 15 rebounds.
Off a broken play, almost a turnover, but Courtney Paris strong with the finish. And look at the emotion that she's given her team right now.
Foul on Goff as her first, 6th on Ole Miss. Paris unable to convert the 3-point play. That's only the 2nd miss by Oklahoma and the first for Paris in the game. Only taken 8 free throws. That's too few when you have players like Courtney and Ashley Paris on the inside.
And this is a matchup that Ole Miss might like when Aaron Higgins was guarding Arminty Price. Too much speed and quickness.
Price has 26 on the night, makes a great pass there to Goff.
Yeah, she can get by anybody off the bounce anywhere in America, can Arminty Price. You got to give her a little cushion. Force her to take the 3. Don't ball pressure her outside the arc. She's not going to shoot it effectively.
4-point game again. Winner to play Tennessee on Tuesday. Welch with the basket. The seniors off the bench. Welch and Brown stepping up in the second half for OU.
And that's what Sherry Cole's going with right now. 3 perimeter players are all seniors.
Price will shoot the 3 over Ashley Paris. No, but an offensive rebound for Offord.
But that's the way you got to guard her. Make her shoot that. Don't let her beat you off the dribble.
She hit a 3 in the first half, but unable to knock that one down. Easily on the drive, blocked from behind, but a foul called. That's on Ashley Paris. That's just her first and the 6th on the Sooners in the half.
Team 6.
Sherry Cole has the Sooners in the Sweet 16 for the 2nd straight year.
Shooting 2.
Now to get to the Elite 8 for the first time in 5 seasons. Easily at the foul line, shooting 2.
Sherry Cole, a 31-year-old high school coach when Oklahoma hired her, and she has had nothing but success and has changed the entire culture of the state of Oklahoma when it comes to college women's basketball.
Done a great job there. Again, her first year they won 5 games back in the 96-97 season. And they have been a perennial Big 12 contender the last 6 or 7 years. Bad turnover there by Oklahoma. That's 24 by the Sooners. And in their losses this year, 2 of which were against a team very similar to Ole Miss, Texas A&M, they could not protect the basketball.
Yeah, they turned it over a combined 52 times against Big 12 Coach of the Year Gary Blair's team.
Price down the lane. Oh, great shot. And 28 now for Price.
Wow. Are you kidding me? You can't stop her going right.
Back-to-back games with 28 against Maryland and now Oklahoma for Arminty Price. Higgins from way out. And it will go to Ole Miss. Four straight points by Ole Miss.
Turnovers have been a problem all season for Oklahoma. At the beginning of the year, there was concern about their guard play. Let's see how their guard play can help them finish this off here and try to take better care of the ball as the game winds down.
Turnover there, their 11th of the day. Look at Courtney Paris bringing it across the timeline. And a terrible pass by Higgins. Price 2-on-1. There's only 2 players back for Oklahoma, and that's easy for Ole Miss. By the time the third defender got back on defense, it was too late.
Well, that's been the story all game right there. Turn it over and sprint down the other end with numbers. Draws the help and then dishes off. That is a tough 1-2 combination in transition. Price and Awkward. A couple of seniors looking to extend their season.
Oklahoma got it to 2, but Ole Miss is stormed back, taking an 8-point lead, and now Awkward trying to convert the 3-point play. What a night for her. 19 points, make it 20 as she hits the foul shot.
This would be her 19th consecutive game in double figures, and she has averaged 17 in the NCAA tournament.
She had 22 against Maryland. It's a 7-0 run by the Rebels.
Brenda Freeze at home is looking at Sherry Cole saying, I feel your pain right now, Coach Cole.
Yeah, the Maryland head coach certainly knows as Ole Miss led by 17 at half on the Terps. There's a basket by Paris, giving her 26 for the game, and a timeout called by the Sooners. Arminty Price with 28 to lead the way. Awkward has 20 and easily has chipped in with 10. They've got most of the points for the Rebels today.
Well, they've been able to score in transition. Their defense has generated steals. They've been able to play the speed and the pace that they like to play. It has been very impressive all game, and it's led by their All-American candidate, Arminty Price, 5'9", maybe 140 pounds. Has had to work up a little bit of a sweat today off the curl, in transition, off the steal. She showed us every which way she can score. She's been very effective playing her game at her pace.
First team All-SEC. 2-time SEC Defensive Player of the Year. And on offense, Price and Awkward have been the story for the Rebels. They've got 48 of the 75 Ole Miss points.
I mean, just think about Arminty Price on pace to join Cheryl Miller in that elite club. That is so impressive that she's been able to be listed among those kind of names.
Rebound for Paris after the miss.
With those 400 steals and joining Cheryl Miller, that is such an impressive list.
2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 400 assists, 400 steals. Pretty incredible what she's been able to do. The only other player ever, Cheryl Miller, to accomplish that feat.
In the shadow of the powerhouse programs in the SEC. Tennessee and Georgia and LSU, and I've even put Vandy on that list.
Ashley Paris, that was 3/4 of the way down. Ole Miss looking to run, but Oklahoma back on defense, so Awkward will set it up. Again, the Sooners got within 2, but then Ole Miss went on a 7-0 run.
You know, this is where if you're Carol Ross, you want your team to stay aggressive. You don't want to slow down the pace and worry about the clock. You've been so good with your pace and your aggressive play the entire game.
Woo! 22 minutes. Beat that.
You're on.
Only the Home Depot has John Deere, Toro, and Cub Cadet. An exclusive lineup all under one roof. Right now, get no payments, no interest for 12 months on any tractor purchase of $7.99 or more with your Home Depot consumer credit card.
The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Good luck, buddy.
Marshall's Law number 296. Take the shortcut to clothes that go the distance. Get high-quality brands minus high prices. Those who know Marshall's Law.
This chicken flamethrower sandwich is amazing.
Yeah. Why do we have to inhale when we talk?
Trust me, if you exhale, flames will shoot out of your mouth.
What?
He said flames. See? Just close your mouth.
The heat is on. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Sandwich and the original Flamethrower Burger. Because one good burn deserves another. And cool off with a Mint Oreo Blizzard treat.
My souvenir from this trip? Back pain. Went from bad to worse. But now I wear this Thermacare heat wrap for 8 hours of heat and 16 hours of relief. 16 hours! I could use these every day. Thermacare. Have heat, will travel.
This year, we're granting over 1 million dreams during the Disney Dreams giveaway. Like small surprises, magical fast passes, and for the first time ever, a stay at Cinderella's castle. So come live your dream during the year of 1 million dreams at the place where dreams come true. Visit DisneyParks.com.
The price is right today for Ole Miss as the Rebels are seeking their first Elite Eight appearance since '92, and they're up 7 with 3:42 left. Price has 28, 8 rebounds, 5 steals, and Debbie, you talked about this incredible club that she's now a part of. It's a two-person club, Cheryl Miller and Arminty Price.
I mean, Cheryl Miller may be arguably the best player to ever play our game. And Arminty Price is side by side with a player the likes of Cheryl Miller. And she has been in the shadow of some of the greatest players that our game has seen in the SEC. Simone Augustus, a 2-time State Farm Way Trophy winner. Candace Parker, who we saw in our earlier game and we will see later playing one of these teams. She's been the second best player in the SEC all season. You take her off this Ole Miss team, and there's no way they're in the Sweet 16.
A lot of people were anticipating perhaps the first ever Candace Parker versus Courtney Paris meeting. That might have to wait because Ole Miss, after another steal, has a 7-point lead. Price looking for more. Wave it off. A foul before the shot. Foul on Oklahoma is its 9th, so 1-1 for Price. Let's bring Heather Cox in.
Well, everybody said Arminty Price from high school to college didn't have the skills to compete in college, so she told me she's still trying to prove herself and still struggles with her confidence. Coach Ross said having her is like having a cheerleader, a coach, and an All-American wrapped into one, saying she has the wisdom of a wise old soul and the exuberance of a little kid. Everyone should get to coach her for a day. Then Coach Ross said, you know, I feel a responsibility to Price to win, so the common fan can get to know what a special player she is. We are being treated to one amazing performance today.
Yeah, Carol Ross has and said to me also, Heather, that she senses a responsibility to give her best every day in preparing her team so that people can get a chance to experience Arminty Price.
How about the fact that Ole Miss has attempted 15 more free throws in Oklahoma?
You got to get the ball to Courtney Paris if you can. Plumley from way downtown. And there's Price just elevating over everybody. 3-on-1.
Price finds Awkward, and she's fouled. Awkward with 20 points. She'll go back to the line where she's 7 of 8.
You know, there's some players, Dave, that are more dangerous in the open court when they're leading the break, and there's others that are more important as the receiver and the finisher. She can do both. She can go up and get a rebound out of her area and then just transition the other way.
30 points, 9 boards for Price, handful of steals. First free throw is good. For live stats and game recaps from all rounds of every championship, go to NCAAsports.com. NCAAsports.com is the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Offensive rebound for Mincy off the awkward miss, and then Black gets to the loose ball, and she's pushed.
Well, you get awkward to miss a free throw, and then Courtney Paris gives up an offensive rebound. And right now for Oklahoma, Dave, you don't necessarily have to get the threes. You got to get some quick twos. You got to figure out how to lengthen the game. You don't have a very good free throw shooting team in Ole Miss. You can put them to the line, and you see today, though, they are 76%, which is above their average as a team, which is 63% on the season.
Rush back into the game. Welch with 4 fouls goes to the bench. Ole Miss in the double bonus. In the first round against TCU, 21 of 40 is a team from the line. Against Maryland, 24 of 27. They're 20 of 27 today. And another foul after another offensive rebound.
Oklahoma foul number 11, Jenna Plumley, her third.
Do they want it more? Certainly seems that way in the last few minutes.
Chantel Black at the line for the Rebels, shooting 2.
Black gets the first free throw. Ole Miss has never been to the Final Four, hasn't been to the Elite Eight since Van Chancellor was the coach back in the early 90s. Finally, Oklahoma gets the basketball. 12-point deficit. It was 2 about 4 minutes ago. It's been a long time since Courtney Paris touched it on the offensive end.
Look at Jenna Plumley spotted up in the corner. Problem is she's on our mini Price's side of the floor.
And Rush fouled by Mincy. That's 4 on Mincy, and 3 free throws coming up for Rush. Should Ole Miss hang on and win, it would be an all-SEC regional final. And Carol Ross has got 1 win lifetime against Tennessee.
1 in 19 against Pat Summitt. That counts her days at Florida. Her 12 years there. She's the all-time winningest coach in the history of Florida women's basketball.
Lady Vols advanced easily over Marist today.
Yeah, she took Florida to 9 NCAA tournaments. That's why I said she knows how to coach an All-American. She knows about an All-American, and that's why Armini Price is going to be an All-American this year. There's no hiding her now. Not that Carol Ross was trying to.
You wonder if that almost hurts Ole Miss because they play Tennessee. Tennessee knows all about Arminty Price. Now, certainly Oklahoma's done scouting, but they haven't been able to see her up close and personal like other teams in the SEC have.
Yeah, it's very difficult to simulate what she can do with her size and her speed.
But Oklahoma's still in the game, down 10 with over 2 minutes to go, and a timeout called by Ole Miss. Well, what has to happen here in the last 2:23 for Oklahoma to come back and win this game? Earlier, they're getting the ball into the post. They kept beating Courtney Paris. They've gone away from that.
Well, that's how they were able to dig back in it. You know, when they had that 10-point deficit, and they got it to single digits, and you said 2 points. They got the ball to Courtney Paris, and they got their high-low game going. They were taking care of the basketball. When they're not taking care of the basketball, Ole Miss has just been able to dictate whatever they wanted to do on the defensive end, and that, because they haven't taken care of the ball, they haven't been able to set up their defense. It's been a layup, not set it up for Ole Miss.
26 turnovers forced by Ole Miss's defense, 16 steals for Carol Ross's team. She took Florida to the Elite Eight in 1997, trying to get them to their the 5th Elite Eight for Ole Miss, and their first, as mentioned, since '92, which was also the last appearance in the regional semifinals. Ashley Awkward has been spectacular. 21 points in the game. She's got the ball right now. 10 seconds to shoot.
She's just done what she's done all season long. Run the stuff out front, dictate defense, get out in transition, and knock down threes.
Missed that one, though. Loose ball. Who's going to get it? Brown does for Oklahoma. And then Paris and Rush were paddling forward amongst themselves. Oklahoma ball under 2 to go.
You got to go.
They get it into Ashley Paris. Couldn't hit it though. Missed twice. Courtney Paris, yes! And the foul.
Courtney Paris does not want this game to end. Strong on the glass, using her size. Weak side board right here. Watch this. Force got no chance against that girth.
No, she wasn't touching it in the offensive set, but she was able to get on the offensive glass. She's got 17 boards and 28 points, 61 consecutive double-doubles, by far an NCAA record.
Courtney has not been a good free throw shooter over the course of her career, but inside the last couple of minutes, she has been.
Gets that one. It's a 7-point game. 5 straight points for the Sooners, and now full court pressure. Price able to get away from 2 defenders, and it's a 3-on-1. Nice pass to Goff for the easy 2.
Price splits the trap, gets the ball in the middle, numbers on the backside.
Courtney Paris inside.
But you can't trade baskets right here if you're Oklahoma. You got to get a turnover.
Basket by Courtney Paris.
You got to put Ole Miss on the line. Remember, Armini Price is a 59% free throw shooter, even though she's 7 of 9 today. And Rush trying to foul her. Does, and so 2 free throws for Price. That's 3 on Rush.
Oklahoma
That's her third.
won the Big 12 tournament title back-to-back years. They shared the Big 12 regular season with Texas A&M.
When this bracket came out and everybody saw the region of doom in Dayton, not many, maybe no one, said it'll be Tennessee and Ole Miss. Everybody said, will it be Tennessee and Maryland, or will it be Tennessee and Oklahoma? Or will Ohio State, perhaps, or Middle Tennessee knock off the Lady Vols on their way to the Elite Eight?
It was thought to be, and I thought so too, the most loaded region.
Brown on the drive, got stripped, but it will stay Oklahoma ball. It's an 8-point game, 1:11 to go. Great spin by Courtney Paris, but she blew the layup. And a foul is going to be called on Ole Miss. And Courtney Paris hurt on the play.
Ole Miss foul number 35, Sean Goff.
Well, with the heat and the temperature in here, I'm not surprised that somebody cramped up in here. You don't want to see Courtney Paris not be able to finish the end of this game if you're an Oklahoma fan.
Courtney and Ashley Paris both went down as father Bubba Paris looks on. Courtney's right foot landed on sister Ashley's right foot. And they're working on Courtney over on the Oklahoma sideline.
So Sherry Cole can put anybody in that she wants to shoot free throws, and she just happens to put in the best free throw shooter in the history of Oklahoma's program, 85.6, Chelsea Welch.
Welch has been to the line today, 1 of 2. Long way from being over, especially if Welch can hit them both. She gets the first. Courtney Paris still being looked at on the bench. You wonder if she'll be able to return.
Oklahoma with their defensive lineup on the floor.
Awkward bump by Plumley. So Awkward's going to go to the line. That's 4 on Plumley. Oklahoma's never lost with her in the starting lineup. Could today be the first defeat with the outstanding high school player from Red Rock, Oklahoma. Courtney Paris off the bench, so she's going to come in with the next opportunity.
Carol Ross is going to talk to the other 4 players while she leaves Awkward on the free throw line.
Missed the first one.
Number 3, Courtney Paris.
Ole Miss allowing Oklahoma to hang around because of missed free throws, and they were only a 62% foul shooting team during the regular season. So Paris is back out there, both Paris twins on the floor.
You still can get a quick 2 if you're Oklahoma right here. And put them back to the line, lengthen the game.
3-possession game right now. Brown on the drive gets the 2. The lead is 5 for Ole Miss. Inbound to Price. Able to get it to Awkward. Do you foul if you're Oklahoma? They do. Pretty hard foul by Brown. But you wonder, they had a chance to foul Price, who shoots under 60%. Instead, they let about 7 or 8 more seconds off the clock before they foul Awkward, a much better foul shooter. Awkward shoots 72%. Both have missed 3 at the line on the day. Got the first one. The next one's key because that puts it back to a 3-possession game. Oklahoma down 7. Easily back in. Awkward will go to the bench for Ole Miss.
Carol Ross substituting to set her D.
A career high for Ashley Awkward today, 24 points. Plumley from the corner, off for 3. Paris with the rebound. And now Paris for 3, too strong. Rebound easily, and she's fouled with 36 seconds remaining.
The most critical free throws Easley has faced, but don't think that Ole Miss hasn't been in tight games before. They have played in 9 overtime sessions this season in 5 different games. Nobody has played that many OTs this year on the women's side. So these players have been in the critical situations on the free throw line before, but not in this situation to advance to the Elite 8.
Follows on Rush, her 4th. The lead back to 8 with 36 seconds left. Higgins back on the floor, an excellent 3-point shooter. Ashley Paris to the bench. Ole Miss 36 seconds away from its first regional final under Carol Ross. And a rematch from the regular season with Tennessee. 9-point lead.
Ole Miss guarding the 3-point line very well. Not letting Higgins get a look. There she goes.
And buries that one from about 25 feet. And it's a 2-possession game with 21 seconds left.
Hey, that's what Erin Higgins can give you. She's the best 3-point shooter in the history of Oklahoma basketball.
Ole Miss trying to knock off a 3 seed, beat a 2 seed in the second round. Had 15 steals and scored 42 points off 28 Maryland turnovers. Our Minnie Price had 28. She's got 31 today. Ashley Awkward at 22. She's got 24 today. And Ole Miss leads by 11. And they've been terrific defensively again today, Deb.
Well, this is it right here. If you want a small capsule of what Ole Miss has been able to do, it's the steal, score, steal, score. They have dictated pace, tempo. They've played their speed, and our Minty Price has put herself in elite company once again.
Player of the game brought to you by Powerade. Well deserved. Our Minty Price averaging over 25 points per game in the NCAA tournament. Oklahoma's got a foul, and they do. They foul Awkward with 16.7 on the clock.
Oklahoma foul, number 24, Leah Rush. Her 5th.
Tennessee, by the way, has won 10 straight NCAA tournament games against SEC opponents since a loss to Ole Miss. And that was 22 years ago. Ole Miss might get another shot at Tennessee on Tuesday if it can hang on here in the last 16.7.
It was a 12-point game when Ole Miss and Tennessee met in Knoxville earlier this year. How about the fantastic job Carol Ross has done with her team? Way under the radar in the national scene. Picked in the bottom half of the SEC in the regular season. Had a chance to finish 3rd until the last week.
They went to the NIT a year ago as Leah Rush perhaps has played her final game in a Sooner uniform. And talking with Carol Ross about that, she said she wanted her players to feel like going to the NIT was like being in prison. She wanted them to hate it so much that they just had to get back to the NCAA tournament where they were 2 years ago. Well, not only are they back, but they're 17 seconds away from an Elite Eight, which would be their first in 15 years. Awkward gets the second one. It's a 3-possession game. Oklahoma needs threes in a hurry. Brown misses. Rebound to Black. And a foul with 7.6 on the clock.
Six seniors for Sherry Cole have been a vital part of transforming Oklahoma basketball into what it is today, which is pretty much a powerhouse in the Big 12.
Jenna Plumley has just fouled out, but this won't be her last NCAA tournament game. The freshman who did a great job leading the Sooners to the Sweet 16 for the second straight year has a bright career ahead of her, even though she had just 3 points in this game.
Chantel Black, shooting 2.
Chantel Black, a freshman for Ole Miss with a bright future ahead of her. At the free throw line. 8 points, 4 assists for Black off the bench today.
I'm very impressed with Carol Ross's team today. They came out and they started from the get-go. 40 minutes of relentless defensive pressure.
Here's a three, no good, and we will have an all-SEC regional final. Carol Ross has Ole Miss in the Elite Eight for the first time in 15 years. Courtney Paris' season is over as Ole Miss beats Oklahoma 90-82. The 1 seed and the 7 seed meet in the Dayton Regional Final on Tuesday night. Tennessee advancing past Marist, and Ole Miss leading for most of the game today against Oklahoma puts up 90 points on the Sooners. Our Minnie Price had 31. Here's Heather Cox.
And that 31 at Ole Miss tournament record. And Arminta, you might be the most unknown superstar in the country. Because of that, what kind of statement were you trying to make today?
Not really. I'm just trying to get out here and win and play hard for my teammates. You know, this is my last year. I'm trying to give all I can.
Oklahoma cut a double-digit lead late. How did this team keep composure in the last couple minutes of this game?
Well, we just had to keep our heads up. We knew they was going to make a run. They had great players, great outside-inside game, so we just have to keep our head up.
You move on to the Elite Eight. You face a very familiar SEC opponent in Tennessee, a team that you've never beaten in your career. What will it take to make history on Tuesday night?
Just do what we've been doing, trapping, rotating, try to get Parker out of the game, which that's going to be hard, but just try to keep our heads level.
Congratulations on the big win. Back to you guys.
All right, Heather. So Price puts up 31 of the 90 points for the Rebels. They advance to the regional final to play Tennessee on Tuesday night. I'm Dave Pash for Deb Antonelli and Heather Cox and our entire crew. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports and your exclusive home for the NCAA Women's Championship. Minnie Price with 31. And Ole Miss wins by 8. It'll be Ole Miss and Tennessee in the regional final on Tuesday. Now back to Trey Wingo.
All right, Dave, thanks very much. So congrats to Ole Miss as we now have 3 SEC teams in the Elite Eight. Could be 4 depending on what happens with Georgia tonight. What happened in this game between Ole Miss and Oklahoma?
Well, what happened, Trey, is that Ole Miss just flat out outworked, out-hustled, outplayed Oklahoma, and that's how they've won the 3 games in this tournament. Let me tell you something. If you're Tennessee, you better be ready to match Ole Miss's work ethic and the way that they play with such intensity, because there's not a team in the tournament that plays with more. You have to match that to have a chance against these guys because they play as hard, harder than anyone in America.
Yeah, you know, Tennessee and Ole Miss met earlier in the season. Tennessee won by 12 in this game, but here was the difference. That player you just saw, Minnie Price, was saddled on the bench in the first half with 2 fouls. She only had 4 points in the first half in that game. That was a huge difference. I don't expect her to get into foul trouble in the next round of the Elite Eight.
I'll tell you what, they made their free throws. They've been doing it all tournament long. They were about 63% for the season. They're way over that now, and so they are set. It's an all-SEC affair. Tennessee and Ole Miss with a chance to go to the Final Four on the line. Tennessee's been there a ton. Ole Miss has never been there before. Here's what we got coming up tonight. Georgia and Purdue, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Back that up with George Washington and #1 overall seed North Carolina. Keep in mind, if Georgia wins, 1/2 of the Elite Eight will be from the SEC. We're out of time. We'll see you at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. Stacy, Kara, Trey, the world's